Welcome to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex. Today we're taking my weekly look at my favourite Switch deals coming in under $10 or your local currency, and here I cover the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. It's a decent little week still, new deals live for most regions, and then stragglers from Black Friday still going on for those in the US and Canada. So with that, hit subscribe. We are pushing for 50,000 subscribers before the year ends. It's definitely going to take a push, but I'm hopeful still. So yeah, look, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and let's get started. If you are grabbing anything, then consider using cornershop.gg for discounted eShop credit. You'll get 10% off at checkout using a code CORNER, and they're going to be instant delivery via email. We do then have a $10 eShop gift card winner to announce later in the video, and one more to give away. To enter, drop a comment down below and the winner I'll announce in next week's video. If you are in the US and Canada then as well, check out my other 6 or so Black Friday deals videos in the pinned comment. Lots of deals to jump on there, so definitely worth a look. Also then finally, tomorrow I will be launching the OLED Nintendo Switch giveaway, or eShop credit equivalent for those that maybe already have that system, so do watch out for that, get them notifications turned on. Xeno Crisis then to kick us off, and today I have 13 games for you all. It's a little bit more skewed towards US and Canada only because the Black Friday deals, they are still alive, but this one, it's 50% off, matching the low, and it's a gem of a game and a recent favourite of mine when I'm looking for something a bit more retro inspired. Built intentionally to run a 16-bit, they actually even released a Mega Drive cartridge variation, and think here Aliens meets a Smash TV. Move from room to room though, clear aliens, uncover power-ups, even play local co-op. Definitely a challenging game for sure, but rewarding as you get slowly better and better, and then the boss encounters, screen filling and absolute highlights of the experience. Top it all off then with a chiptune soundtrack. Broforce, while I'm on old school influenced, it gets a new low of 80% off. This one comes from Devolver Digital. It's not a perfect game honestly, and I do get burnout relatively quickly, but I do love to play it in short bursts, think 30 minutes here and there. This one's side-scrolling and think platforming with a whole host of weapons and characters. Essentially, it's a love letter to 80s and 90s, action I guess, but with plenty of recognisable characters. Think Terminator, Braveheart, Judge Dredd, just to name a few as well. Different names of course, not licensed, but we need to save this world and hostages from what is this evil organisation. Great pixel work here as well. Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus is absolutely worth it for strategy fans. I like this on Switch because it's small battlefields and individual units, so it maps out perfectly to controller and also for that smaller screen. Alongside this, so expect army setup and dungeon navigation. The latter is really interesting. Think almost D&D. It presents a problem, you must now choose a reaction. I was impressed, love the universe as well, as we are the most technologically advanced army in the Imperium, and it even packs the Heretic DLC. Think new missions, troops, skills, weapons, even a new location. Then finally, it's a new low price, 75% off, and you can find my full review in the pinned comment below. A quick self-plug and apology then, sorry this video is a day late compared to usual. I had the opportunity to review the Callisto Protocol over on Xbox and I could not pass that up. I've been waiting forever for this game. I just adored Dead Space. I wanted to see what they did next. Find that video below though if it does interest you, and then even find the link to Xbox Corner. There we have deals, reviews, Game Pass breakdowns and deals weekly as well. Inversus then 91% off, a new low price and a good option for shooter fans who want, let's say, puzzle gameplay almost too. It's been out a long time this one, and discounts relatively frequently, but not to this extent. The gameplay simple in idea but more challenging in execution. An arcade shooter basically, solo, local and online. They are supported for up to 4 players, and the player movement, you can only move on opposite coloured tiles. Basically my walls are going to be your paths as the eShop puts it. To win, you need to block and close in on your opponent. Definitely good stuff. I'd definitely suggest maybe watch a video or two kind of breaking down all of those mechanics. Exit the Gungeon then, it wasn't the sequel and many wanted to enter, but I still had fun and you can find my review in the pinned comment. This one, it switched things up and went for a side-on perspective while retaining many well-loved mechanics such as invincibility frames and of course a hell of a challenge. The idea though, ride this elevator to get out of here, but watch out for the huge number of enemies that are heading your way. The catch as well, your gun's going to be changing constantly, so you need to kind of master them on the fly. A new low price, that is 50% off. Quake is a classic and we've seen this price before. I even actually spoke to it recently. I just think it's a great port. You know, it started off as super budget, now it returns with 60% off, so I'm giving it another shout out because this is how you do a port the right way. You add in motion controls to take advantage of the Switch, you include the original Trent Reznor music, you throw in expansion passes, including a brand new one, and then you even support online play and local multiplayer, whether that's competitive or co-op. They got so much right with this package and I am absolutely here for it. It just deserves support as you slay enemies in this dark fantasy world. Basically that story, slay evil, open a portal, destroy world ending. And you know, bad guys, it's definitely not one that you come here for the narrative, but that gunplay is another level. South of the Circle of them will be for narrative fans. It started on Apple Arcade before making its way to the Switch. It's a mix of light exploration, dialogue, and uncovering a story set around crash landing in the Antarctica, that is during the Cold War era. It's also then going to be breaking down the events that led up to this moment and kind of reflecting on the life decisions we made. Really like the characters and also the contained topics. Definitely won't be for everyone though, but if narrative is your thing, I'd say check out my review in the pinned comment, see if it's gonna be one for you. I think I'm one of the few Switch channels to actually cover this release. It's matching the low price then, 30% off. Forager then is here with 65% off. That is a new low price. It's essentially a play on survival. Think top-down exploration, crafting and farming. So yeah, basically gather up resources, build out a base, expand this land. But what I really like, there's just so much going on in here. Think skills to learn, dungeons to overcome, puzzles. You need to raise money to expand that land, and then it's all backed up with this great pixel style. It's a game that honestly gives you very little, rather it simply asks you to play it your way. I'd watch a full review, as I say, it's quite a deep game, but I picked up a physical release and it's one you can return to for a good while. Lacuna then, and full of transparency, I'm yet to beat this myself. I like it so far, but consider it my pickup almost, not necessarily a recommendation. Maybe you'll join me for the ride though. A steal of a price here, 90% off. It's an adventure game, much in the vein of classic point and clicks, though it tries to modernise the genre with a more, let's say, robust control scheme while keeping that retro visual style. The story, we are Neil Conrad, a CDI agent, and we are investigating a murder which will eventually change our lives. It's all about the evidence gathering and a line of questioning with decisions that can change the outcome. Dragon's Lair Trilogy then is back, matching the low here, 50% off. We've not seen this on sale now in near a year. It's not going to be for everyone, but I grew up playing these games, so I've always had a soft spot for them. Cinematic adventures, basically explore the world, but it's also a whole host of, quick time events. You're coming to this one for the great animation and just generally the fun story, not necessarily, you know, that gameplay. I picked up the physical release, but it packs in 3 games. That's the Fantasy Dragon's Lair 1 and 2, as well as Sci-Fi Adventure Space Ace. I enjoy them all, nice little throwbacks over anything else for me, and yeah, great animation still to this day. Unmetal then was a surprise hit of 2021 for me, playing as Jesse Fox. We have been wrongfully imprisoned for a crime we did not commit. Now we must escape. It's a love letter though to old school Metal Gear Solids, but what they got so right here for me, the narrative and that overall just humour, it's spot on. But yeah, talk your way out of situations, stealth around this world, upgrade as you do take on these enemies, and even explore a collection of weapons and gadgets. Throw in then a ton of additional kind of pop culture references, and yeah, a real winner in my eyes on this. It matches the low price with 50% off. Our penultimate game then, AVICII Invector, it's 60% off, a new low price. I reviewed this on the channel, find that in the pinned comment below. A rhythm game though, so if you're not a fan of his music, it's probably not going to be for you because that is all you're getting, but I loved it. Basically pilot a spaceship and react to beat markers on the track. It packs multiple difficulties though, and then a story to follow along to as well. Now it was even being worked on as well directly in conjunction with AVICII before his passing way way too young. They ended up donating funds from sales of this one to his charity though. I'm 100% for that, but I will say here, I'm not 100% sure that is still the case. There's no mention of it on the eShop. Our winner of the week then, Mariano Cipriani, who picked up a 1TB SD card and absolutely filled it. Congrats on the win. Drop me an email to claim your code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance to win in next week's video. Unsouled then is our final game. It's here with 72% off, a new low, and I've been meaning to review this one on the channel now, so it may finally be the time. A 2D action RPG, we are thrown into a world where our kingdom, it collapsed, and we are trying to uncover the truth behind why. Now what I like, it's the Souls-like combat. It's all about strategy and leveraging, you know, special abilities. Think like freezing time, but it's not only to win in combat, but also to actually explore the world. Not the longest of games, you can complete a run in maybe 2 to 3 hours, but the design here, it's to go back and start to piece together more of that narrative. I really liked it though, and I love the pixel art as well. And that's the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library, or are you holding onto that cash? Let me know in the comments down below. Then hit subscribe and join us here for reviews and deals daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.